I clearly remember the day I got torn away from my home and brought to the coastline in chains. The journey over the big ocean, the terrors on board. It was pure luck I survived. And it was also my luck I got acquired by the captain. He shipped me to his home, England, where I now serve as his slave. Soon we'll depart on our next journey, away from rainy England to the distant shores I once called my home.
Tim, stop walking around like a headless horse crab. Mr. Blotherbloom and I have just signed our contract. Soon we're going to get slaves for the Caribbean markets. Go get us that golden bottle of brandy on the counter, so Mr. Blotherbloom and I can seal the deal with a drink.
Don't speak unless you're told to.
Did you get the brandy? Ah, very good. Sometimes I think we'll get a decent person out of you yet. Our mission takes us to Africa, close to the village where you lived before you became my slave. You should have a look at the places we will travel to on the wall map. Now, where is my pipe? I always put it in my right pocket. 7 blundering blisters. I must have dropped my precious pipe at the docks. Run and fetch it, Tim.
Click the point counter to see what hides behind it.
Adventure awaits. The name's Sean Wallace, able adventurer, sailor of the 7 seas and defeater of sea serpents. Yeah, I just picked it up, but I don't bother with pipes. Real adventurers chew on red-hot embers. Now that's something that makes you feel cool. Your captain, you say? I imagine he'd like a heroic adventurer like me on board his ship. Tell me where you're going, and I'll give you the pipe. Now that's adventurous. I must join your crew for sure. No more British rain. Black devils and mermaids, look out! Here I come! I'll find your captain before you leave and convince him to take me along. How would he be able to say no to a handsome, heroic adventurer like me? Here's the pipe.
Ahoy there! Should I call you Tim or Pootage? You remember your African name, right? My name is Tempest. I'm here to help you out a little and follow you on your upcoming journey. It's going to be an exciting one. I have big ears and a good nose, so if you need help, I might have some helpful info. How may I help you? When you were bought on the slave market, they gave you a new name, Tim. Remember that? Your African name is Pootage. You also had a sister called Peary back then. How may I help you?
Have you found my pipe? Good job. Adventurer? But the old cook was so bad that I suspect it was his cooking and not scurvy that killed my men. Maybe this so-called adventurer can replace him. On another note, Mr. Blotherbloom wants to talk to you. He wants to make sure you're loyal to us. If Mr. Blotherbloom trusts you, we'll get ready to leave for Africa.
All right, little slave. Listen, we'll be going to the part of Africa where you came from, and we want you to join us since you speak the native language. But I need to know that you will be loyal to us on this mission. It will be tough, and you might even meet someone you know or have heard of before. We need you, but know that if you're disloyal, there will be no mercy. Now, swear by God that you'll be loyal to us. Very good. You know that Captain Seahab's eyes will be watching your every move. One mistake, and I wouldn't want to be you. I'm done with you for now.
This is your trust meter. It shows how much the captain trusts you. Beware it does not land in the red area. If it comes too far down, you'll be thrown back into chains.
So you proved your loyalty, you little landlubber. Let's go to the docks. Tim, go meet Dr. Eagleedge. Make sure he's ready for the journey. The doctor is the one with the big black hat. Come back to me once he's confirmed that he's ready to set sail.
Hello there. My name is Dr. David Eagleedge. I'm going to join this here fine ship as a surgeon. I've been on one of these trips before, but I can already tell you now that it's not going to be pretty. But what is your name? I mean your real name, the one you had before you became a slave, before they gave you a new Christian name. Puttidge. I'll try to remember that. But when anyone else is near, I'll call you by your new Christian name, Tim. Now, what can I do for you? Almost, but I need to find my magnifying glass. I can't leave without it. I need it to make great discoveries on the voyage, so I can get into the Royal Society of Science in London.
Adventure awaits. Well, I'll tell you. There I am, in the Atlantic Sea. Waves taller than mountains are about to crush the ship. And then the serpent rises out of the water, breathing fire and brimstone. I jumped from the ship and fought it with my cutlass in an attempt to save the ship and crew. The serpent's fiery breath burnt my hair, and its jaws took my hand and leg. But I won, and saved them all like a true adventurer. Adventure away.
Is the good doctor ready to go?
How may I help you? I'm pretty sure he dropped it when a rat scared him by this little barrel. Let's hope it didn't break from the fall.
Hello, Puttidge. Did you find my magnifying glass? Oh, very good. With my magnifying glass back and my bags on board the ship, I'm ready to go. Go tell our gallant captain.
Is the good doctor ready to go? By Neptune's knuckles. It's also about time to set sail. Let's round up the rest of the crew and begin our journey.
Pootage. Welcome to Africa. Come talk to me. I've got something for you. I've got a nice gadget for you. Chrono goggles. They allow you to see through time and space. Even having them on your head will let you see persons or items from other time periods. If you spot something or someone who doesn't belong to this time period, put the goggles on. This allows you to help correct any time slips you encounter. The goggles consume insane amounts of energy, so you can only keep them on for a short period of time and only use them a limited number of times. Good luck chrono spotting.
Oh, it's hotter than 4 fiery cottage pies on this beach. How can you stand it? While we set up camp, I need you to run up to the village and inform the African chief that we have arrived. Be sure to bring a gift. Bring him the set of knives from that pile of merchandise over there.
Hello, Tim. It must be fascinating for you to be back in Africa. I will surely get to do some research down here for the Royal Academy in London. Hi there, little dude. So you finally come to talk to Uncle Cramped Dog. You don't want to hear that anyway. All you need to know in life is how to catch yourself some fish. First, you need to prepare. Some lunch, your fishing rod, plenty of bait, and a full patch of tobacco. Don't forget that. Got to get back to work before the captain sees me doing nothing. But get me some tobacco, and I'll have a reward for you. Hi there, little dude. So you don't want to hear that anyway. It was the biggest bite of my life. I was struggling to stay on my feet as I hung onto the fishing rod. I was about to be pulled overboard, and then I saw the fin of a giant shark. The 30-foot shark jumped out of the water just as I was about to topple over. It ate my catch in one gulp. I didn't get wet, but the shark ate my catch.
This is a trading post where Europeans and Africans meet and deal with slaves.
Rumor had it that a black man was traveling with the weapon dealers. I see it was a boy, not a man. Do you have a name? Yeah, you trade us weapons so that we can win the fights against our enemies. Another batch of weapons will make a difference, all right. We trade you slaves for the weapons that you provide. Then we use those weapons to capture the people we sell to you. There are many ways to get them. You can take prisoners, kidnap people in the jungle, or buy them from others. We keep some for ourselves and sell the rest to the whites. How do you like the rhythm? The irony. A little slave helping the whites to purchase slaves like himself. Strange times. Don't help the whites more than you can help. They are strange people with strange customs. Don't trust them. Make deals that benefit us instead.
Try your chrono goggles. If you see an item that doesn't belong in this time, you can click it and correct the time slip up.
Interesting. I'm surprised to see one of our own representing the White Devils. Oh, how very nice. I see your white masters have manners. Very good. So what do you... Ah, thank you. I accept your gift. Go tell your master I look very much forward to meeting him at noon tomorrow. I've ordered my men to bring a couple of our finest slaves to the square. You and your masters are free to inspect them all. I will see you and your master tomorrow. I pity the fool who messes with Chief Janto.
In a cage on the beach, I suddenly saw a face I hadn't seen in many years, but there was no doubt in my heart. It was my sister behind the bars.
Pootage? Brother, I thought you were dead. I thought I'd never see you again when they dragged you from the village. The Akka warriors came back again, and this time I didn't escape. It's a long story, but you are here now. That gives me hope that we might get out of this mess together. We might need the help of others. I will show the other slaves that there's hope. From our prison, I can see a pretty flower. I can just reach it with a forked stick I found, but I need something to make the flower stick once I've plucked it from the tree. I just need something sticky, like resin. Something like that should be enough to make the flower stay on the stick.
How do you like the rhythm of the...
I'm writing some medical poetry while killing time. Care to listen? It's very cultured. A bit like Shakespeare, if I may say so. Kidneys are red, eyes sometimes blue.
What's up, Tim? Why don't you do like the gentle rocking of the sea and not bother me?
Hi, Pootage. What can I do for you? Didn't I tell you that the chrono goggles would give you the ability to see through time and space? Hi, Putich. What can I do? You should be able to find a bucket of tar or two here on the beach. Tar is black and sticky, and it tastes a bit like asphalt. Not something I'd recommend using as frosting on your birthday cake. In your bag, you can see which items you have gathered.
I dropped it. Stupid, stupid me. Stupid, stupid papaya. The bucket of water I just got, I was already running late because I talked to Antonius by the well, so I had to run back. Then I tripped over the master's dog and spilled all the water. The kitchen slaves needed it. But even worse, it felt like I was falling, and now I'm stuck here and I can't get home. Yes, nothing unusual about that. There are millions of slaves all over the Roman Empire, both men and women. I am a house slave, a clumsy house slave who drops the master's water. My master is hosting a dinner party for 3 senators. If the dinner is late, he will punish all the slaves, and since it was my fault, there'll be no mercy for me. The year is 50 AD. I'm from Rome, the capital of the great Roman Empire. I work for a politician there in a great household with lots of slaves. But I'm new, and I don't want to disappoint my master. My master is hosting a dinner party for 3 senators. If the dinner is late, he will punish all the slaves, and since... Fantastic! If I can return to my own time, nobody will get punished now, and my master and his guests will dine on time. I thank you. Take this pouch of sestertii as a reward.
Putich, did you find that tie you talked about? Great work, big brother. I didn't raise my hopes in vain. Tonight, I will pluck the flower and bear it as a symbol of hope. Hope of getting out of this horrible situation together. Now go, brother. And remember that we can't show anyone that we know each other. I'll wait for nightfall, and you must go back to the Whites to avoid arousing any suspicion. Sometimes you need to take 2 items from your bag and combine them to make a new tool you can use.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with B. It's that branch over there. You're not so good at this, but I'm sure you can learn.
They're selling us to the white men. Do you think they'll eat us? How do you know? I've heard many stories about the white cannibals from the sea. And they haven't eaten him yet. Maybe it's because he's still a boy. Not enough meat on him yet.
Yes.
Great! The flower is the symbol of hope. Catch a good night's sleep on the palm leaves. You've earned it.
Amazing! That was a clever way to pick that flower. Maybe there's hope after all.
Good morning, Tim. Today we will meet with their mischievous chief and barter for the slaves. Are you ready? We can't wait for the men to drag all the stuff up to the village, so we should just bring our finest items and some samples. Go over there and pick up a sample of gin and some of the finest muskets, since those are the wares we'll be trading at this trade station. Have you picked up the gin sample and the muskets? Good job. Now, listen. When we barter with the chief, you'll do the talking since you speak their language. It works like this. You agree on the number of slaves we get per unit of our merchandise. When you have a price, confirm with me that we can accept it. I need you to get Mr. Blotherbloom a good price, so we can get as many slaves stashed on the ship as possible. That's the spirit. I knew you wouldn't disappoint me.
Welcome to my humble home. I'm looking forward to these negotiations. I see that you will do the talking. I trust you'll tell your master exactly what I say. This is a matter between merchants. Don't meddle with grown men's affairs. You have had time to inspect my slaves, so we'll jump straight to the offer. I'll trade you 20 females and 10 children for each unit of your brandy. Male slaves. I'll give you 30 strong male slaves for each unit of your muskets. So, what is your offer? You're one savvy trader. I'll give in to you only because your cold merchant's heart impresses me. I was beginning to think of you as a soft kid.
That took some time, Tim. What have you got for me? Clams and cupcakes, that's a sweet deal. I think we'll buy all his male slaves. Please tell him.
So, what did your master say? Excellent. Let's seal the deal on females and child slaves for some of your quality gin. I want you to listen well, since I have a special price for you. You have had time to inspect my slaves, so we'll jump straight to the offer. I'll trade you 20 females and 10 children for each unit of your brandy. All right, I'll let you choose one more child for each unit, but that's as sweet as that deal is going to get for you. 1.5 children? How does that make sense? I know what this means. Do you? No more fooling around, slave. Tell your master my offer of 20 females and 10 children, quickly.
That took some time, Tim. What have you got for me? 20 females and 10 children? 7 singing seabirds, that wasn't much. Are you sure that was the best he could offer? All right, I'll put a bit of trust in you. Tell him we accept it. But get me a better deal next time.
So, what did your master say? Very good. I think we've done what we needed to get done today. When you've finished dragging the trade's goods up from the beach, we'll bring you your new slaves. Tonight, we shall have a great feast and sow the seeds of future trade talks. Tell your master that one of my men will come get you.
I'll go back to the ship. You play around or do whatever you want for a couple of hours.
Pootage, I picked the flower. Thanks, brother. I think so too. What happened in the chief's hut? What did the two of them talk about? I hate that they treat us as mere trade goods. Are we nothing more to these people? Why did you have to be in there? How could you? Those are human lives, and who knows what's going to happen next? We need to come up with an escape plan and quickly find out when we'll get a chance to escape.
I hear you agreed on a price for the slaves. Even at that price, it doesn't seem like we'll fill up the ship from this village alone. No, it's also fairly rare. I think the captain wants to stow at least 200 slaves on the ship before setting sail for the New World. Last time I went on a slave vessel, we sailed from place to place for almost 4 months, with the slaves suffering below deck, until the captain finally decided we had enough. Not a whole lot, I'm afraid, but I'm writing down what I see on board. I'll try to use my written record to convince King George that the treatment of slaves is unacceptable.
You're back! When will we get a chance to escape? I hear rumors that we will be placed on board your master's great canoe. Will we have room to move around there? Can we maybe take over your ship? How many do you think we're going to be? You're probably right, Pootage. Taking over the ship may not be possible or a good idea at all. When will we stop sailing? When do we reach our destination? We'll be patient like a butterfly waiting in its cocoon. This flower is a sign that we'll make it in the end, no matter what. Now go, before your masters get suspicious.
you ready to help with stacking the slaves? We need to get as many on board as we can. We'll sail at dawn if possible. Tim, you'll not be attending the feast tonight. You'll stay on the ship with the slaves. So when you start stacking slaves on board, you should make sure you're ready to leave this village. Are you ready to help with stacking the slaves? Tim, you'll not be attending the feast tonight. You'll stay...
Slave traders didn't look upon slaves as people, but as a product. They therefore staked the slaves on top of each other to get as many as possible shipped. This was certainly not nice. Good job! May my gods protect me. My only hope is that they'll treat us with some respect before they eat us.
What do you think, little girl? Do you know what is going to happen to us?
That comforts me a bit. That must also mean they won't let us die down here.
These chains won't hold me for long. The animal inside me roars for freedom. Plans? I'm not planning. I'm pure doing. Pure action, pure dynamite. No plan. Watch me rip these chains apart with my bare hands. Must tear chains. Oh, must break shackles. Maybe that food they serve has weakened me. No, I mustn't give up. Pure dynamite power. I will bite through it. Ouch! Chipped a tooth. I can't break these chains. I have failed. You must help me, little girl. Get to talk to that boy of theirs, the one that is like us. He must be able to find the keys for our shackles or something like that. Do you think you can convince him?
Hordes of hiccuping hurricanes. Good thing you're here. Dr. Eagle-Edge has his hands full, so he needs assistance. Whether it's that useless cook or something else, I don't know. But every stomach on board is acting up. There's illness in all four directions of the compass. Oh, the air below deck smells worse than my socks on a Sunday, so we've dragged most of the slaves up on deck to get some fresh air. Find the doctor and help him out.
you have some time to help me with all these sick people? Very good. I need you to help me separate those with scurvy from those with other diseases, so we can treat people correctly. First thing you should do is check their gums. If the gums are shrinking and the roots of the teeth are visible, it's a bad sign. If the gums bleed, it's also bad. Then take a good look at their skin to check if it's full of spots and dots. And finally, ask them if they have problems with nosebleeds. On a voyage like this, it's likely that many of the sailors get it. It's a serious problem for every man on long ocean voyages, and scurvy can be deadly. It's a bit tricky. Fresh fruit, water, and food seem to work well, but keeping things fresh is near impossible on a trip this long. First thing you should do is then take a good look at their skin to check if it's very good. Soon you'll be as good as me. Go diagnose the woman called Akim. She's at the back of the ship. And then return to me with the diagnosis.
I feel very ill. What? How can you do that? What do you need? What kind of offering do the gods need? I'm ready to submit to almost anything to end this suffering. My gums are shrinking, but I've not experienced bleeding gums. Not that we'd need to chew that awful gruel stuff they give us. No, I don't think so. I think all my marks are bruises and sores from lying chained on the wooden splintery planks in the dark belly of the ship. Only when I fell face first, because I couldn't find my balance while wearing chains. Nothing is good here. Everything is trouble and pain. I want to go home. So do these answers tell you what is wrong with me? What will happen to me?
So, did you decide on your diagnosis? Do you think it's the scurvy that has taken hold of her body? Here's a little song. Mr. Scurvy is over the ocean. My scurvy is over the sea. My scurvy is over the ocean. Please bring back my scurvy to me. How was that? So, did you decide on your diagnosis? Do you think it's the scurvy? So, what is your verdict? Did she have scurvy or not? Oh, that's too bad. With that cook and our food situation, we might as well... Anyway, speaking of food, get me a cup of fresh water for this fellow. Ask Mr. Wallace. He's in the cargo hold down that ladder next to us. He's master of supplies, so you have to go through him.
Dinner isn't ready yet, but there's plenty of reason to be excited. I learned today's recipe from a starving unicorn I met when I was in Atlantis. Who said you could have that? Fresh water is a precious resource on this ship. Never go on an adventure without fresh water. Adventurer rule number 6. I obey only the captain, so I'll have to ask him first. We can't risk running too low on food or drinking water.
Did you get the water from Mr. Wallace? That just makes me sad. Maybe I should write a sad poem about it. Anyway, you're free to go, Puttidge. See if anybody else needs some help around here.
Puttidge, so glad you're here. The world below deck is so horrible, and I need your help. To show the people below deck that there's still hope, I need to help one of them. His name is Darbo. I need you to find me a key or something that will unlock his shackles. Trust me on this one. I think it might help us in the long run. We help him, and then maybe he will help us once he's free. He's no team player, but at least he's fair.
I smell a storm brewing. Starfish and cinnamon ships. This is gonna be rough. What can I do for you, Tim? A total of 312. Well, considering we didn't spend more than 3 months loading the ship, I'd say that's pretty good. 400 plus would have been perfect, considering the size of the ship, but this is good enough. I smell a storm Well, in case I should get swept overboard, there's an old extra key. But why is this of such interest to you? It's hidden like a secret in a book with no words. But why do you want to know?
No time, sailor. Commanding a ship is like eating a meal with chopstick.
Hi, Puttidge. What can I do for you? Now that's a key question. Try to ask the captain, but be careful not to give your intentions away. You could also try searching. Did you find the key, brother?
Puttidge, you lazy landlubber, where are you? Droughts and tidal waves, there you are. You've been bugging me all day, and when I need you, you're gone. The feeling I had earlier about a storm brewing was right. We need to get the slaves below deck. But the extra key I had in my bookcase is gone. Yes, one of them is my journal. I use it every day to record everything that happens. You're right. I hope I'll find it after the storm. For now, let's get the slaves below deck and seal the scuppers so they don't drown like rats down there.
Try to calm down, Akim. She seems really down. It seems she thinks all hope is lost. My guess is that you should try to be funny rather than to reason with her. Make her smile. A smile always kindles hope, even at the darkest hour.
Did you talk to the boy? Could he help me? I mean us? Oh, freedom tastes so sweet. Hand me the key. Yes, as a pack of predators, we will work together against the white oppressor and take him down. We will be pure force, Hope Girl. Freedom will taste as sweet as ever this time around.
I've seen enough. I don't want this anymore. This has to stop. I won't end my days among white devils. Let's say we make it to their land. Will it be any different? A land full of white devils? How can that be better? Good times won't come again. My hope is gone. My prayers aren't heard. So the next time I get on deck, next time they let us breathe air instead of the nauseous gases we breathe down here, I'll jump. Jump into the great blue sea. I'll deny them the joy of making me feel bad. Don't try to talk me out of this, girl. The flower is nothing. They could take it any time they wanted to and tear it apart. Tear your hope apart. At least you're right about that, Hope Girl. But I still prefer to spend the rest of my days on the bottom of the ocean. What can I do? Whenever I do anything that they have not made me do against my will, they whip me with the thing they call the Cat of Nine Tails. You're so naive and innocent, Hope Girl. What'll the next thing be? I'm sticking to my plan of jumping ship. You call that food? I can't eat it. Even the smell makes my stomach turn. Then, when I won't eat it, they force my mouth open and make me swallow their disgusting food anyway. You're so naive and innocent, Hope Girl. Yes, they let us dance and sing on the deck, but they just laugh at us and our traditions. At least you're right about that, Hope Girl. But I still prefer to spend the rest of my days on the bottom of the ocean. I have no more to say. My mind is made up.
Beauties and beasts. Nothing like a good storm to keep you on your tippy toes. Now, back to serious business. We're gonna have to throw some slaves overboard. Correct. Turned into fish food. Clam collectors, you know. The cook says we need to lose between 20 and 50 slaves. Wallace thinks we're gonna run out of food before we reach Barbados, so we better lose some slaves to prevent starvation. Talk to the doctor, and together with him, you should make a list of the slaves you don't think will make it anyway. Better to get rid of them now than later.
That storm's nothing compared to the one I braved when visiting the edge of the world in my paper boat. Now those were waves. We're running short on provisions, I tell you, and no adventurer can fight on an empty stomach.
What did the captain have to say? Is there anything we can do?
All right, we'll make a list. Keep in mind that this is a matter of life and death. If food is running out, it's a big problem. But we can't condemn the innocent to certain death.
First, go and talk to Wallace to find out how much food and water we have left. Get a list from him that we can go through.
We're running short on provisions, I tell you. And no adventuring. Yes, I have it right here. I put an X next to the barrels, boxes and sacks that have been emptied. In the last couple of days, we've used much more than I thought we would. Alright, here you go. We have about 4 weeks ahead of us at our current speed. And I estimate that we have food for 2 weeks.
Did you get the list from Wallace? This is not good. Even if Wallace is a bit stingy with his provisions, we might need to lose 25 of the weakest slaves as the figures look right now. That's very sad. Some people say that the pen is mightier than the sword. But I swore an oath to God that I'd serve the ship. I can't change the numbers.
I'd hate to throw people overboard, but I'd recommend that you find arguments for saving them and avoid forgery. Here is my list of the slaves we should get rid of.
Have you and Eagle Ledge made me a list so we can tell which slaves will be turned into crab cakes? All right, hand me the list so we can see how many slaves Dr. Eagle Ledge thinks should go overboard. All right, 25 slaves will go to Davy Jones's locker. All right, I want you to go to my cabin and wait until the deed has been done. It's not gonna be pretty.
Good job.
Got to love these Caribbean nights. Moonlight, whispering of waves, pleasant temperatures. Nothing like back in rainy old England. Well, look who's here. What's up, soldier? Let's just say I did something. Something that was so bad that I had to join a ship's crew and leave England for good. I believe it was for the best, but sometimes I miss it a little. Well, look who's here. What? Some rum would be great. But no, I'm on duty and carry the master keys. I shouldn't be tempted, even though Cristiano's probably already on his second bottle. He's the one guarding the fort yard. Rumour has it that he was a pirate before he came. Nobody should trust him an inch.
Over here. You there. Can I trust you? Yes, I was on that ship. But with the help of the little girl and the key you got for me, I broke free from their chains. Nothing can hold me back. I'm an explosion. Pure dynamite. Yes, nothing can hold us back. Let's rush in and free the slaves. No more waiting. Dynamite action about to explode.
We both made it across the sea. We must find out quickly how much time we have before the next market where I might be bought by a white slaver. Be careful, Putich. Every time we talk, it might cause suspicion among the people around us. Find out when the slave market is, and then come back. Good luck.
Biscuits and birdseed. Always strange to be on land again. It's impossible to get any sleep without the gentle rocking of the waves. Impossible as a parrot in a sailor suit. Oh, it's tempting as a siren song to row out and sleep on the ship. But Brother Bloom paid me to stay and help keep an eye on the slaves. If only I had the gentle rocking of the waves and my cramped, cosy clam of a cabin to calm me down, I would sleep like a baby. Oh, it's tempting as a siren song to row out and sleep on the ship. But Brother Bloom paid me to stay and help keep an eye on the slaves. Why are you interested in that? You aren't thinking stupid thoughts, are you? Anyway, the slaves leave for Bridgetown tomorrow, so if you want to say goodbye, you'd better do it now. Oh, it's tempting as a siren. Brother Bloom talked about keeping an eye on you, that you're as trustworthy as an oyster is delicious. Oysters. Grey, salty gold on the tongue. I trust you won't do anything stupid, Tim. I'll slip down to the wine cellar and sing me some 99 green bottles. That should help me fall asleep. See you in the morning.
Did you find out how much time we have to plan our escape from here? We must escape before dawn? Then we've got to hurry. We'll need to get me out of these shackles before we can do anything. We need the keys. One of the guards must have them. See if you can take them from him and come back when you have them. Then the rest of the plan will be ready.
Meus Deus, I'm bored. I never should have quit that pirate crew.
Slim, I mean yes. I've sailed with a pirate crew, but it was too much bother, so now I work as a mercenary for anyone who can pay. It's just that this is so boring. I'd rather be outside, teasing old Slim with my jokes and enjoying Caribbean rum. Meus Deus, I can't leave my guard while Bluther Bloom is watching. I'll have to stay here until he goes to bed.
The slave market tomorrow should be an excellent opportunity to sell off most of the merchandise. I can already smell the profit. Smells good. Yes, there's a big market in Bridgetown starting tomorrow. We'll leave at dawn, and I expect to sell a lot of the slaves there. Oh, money, money, money! Yes, I have to get some sleep. Can't be tired while selling the merchandise. A couple of drinks and some coin counting will help me sleep. Now, don't do anything stupid while I'm in Dreamland.
I'm so bored in here. I'm guarding chained and starved slaves. What kind of task is that for a former pirate? Meus Deus, I can't leave my guard while Bluther Bloom. He has! Holy pancake, he has! Well spotted, sailor! Can't you keep an eye on the slaves, and then I'll go share this bottle of Caribbean gold with Slim.
Oh, coming to keep me company. Cristiano just got too drunk to be any fun. He left most of his bottle with me. Good thing I'm not easily tempted. Indeed, I have to remain sober. Good thing I left my life of irresponsibility back in England. Just imagine the world of trouble I'd be in if I somehow lost me keys. My head is as clear as my conscience. No need for water right now. Since it seems you have nothing better to do, why don't you stay here and keep me company? You're absolutely right. Since it seems you have nothing better to do, Since it seems you have nothing... Oh, I'm too drunk to be spinning around. I just might... Since it seems you have nothing better to do, why don't you... Get your hands off the keys, kiddo. Nobody gets to touch. I'm keeping my eye on them at all times. Since it seems you have nothing better... Get your hands off the keys. Since it seems you have nothing better to do, why don't you stay... You're absolutely right. Since it seems you have nothing better to do, Since it seems you have nothing better to do, why don't you stay here and keep me company? The only other fun to be had is... Oh, I'm too drunk to be...
Did you get the keys? Hi, Putich. What can I do for you? The guard in the red coat has the keys, but he's not likely to just give them away. So you...
Oh, coming to keep me company? Since it seems you have nothing better to... I'm not drunk enough to fall for that one. But nice try. Since it seems you have nothing better... You're absolutely right. Since it seems you have... You're absolute... Since it's... Ed's a bit dizzy. Better stop. Oh, coming to keep me company? Since it seems I'm not drunk. Since it's you're absolutely right. Since it seems I'm too drunk to be spinning around, I just might end up getting ripped. Since it seems you have nothing better to. You're absolutely right. Since it seems you have no. Ed's a bit dizzy. Oh, coming to keep me. Since it seems you have nothing better to. You're absolute. Since it seems you. I'm too drunk to be spinning around. Since it seems you have. Yeah, a glass of water to clear the head and stay fresh. That's probably a good idea. Since it seems you have nothing better to do, why don't you stay here? I'm not drunk enough to fall for. Since it seems you have. You're absolutely right. Since it seems. What is it? I can't see anything. Now, where did I put those keys? Now, where did I put those keys?
Did you get the keys? Great job, Putic. I'll make good use of the keys now. Go make sure the guards don't come back here, and I'll create a diversion so as many of us as possible can escape.
Hey, you. Did you see if I dropped my keys?
We escaped into the jungle together with many other slaves while the white men were struggling to put out the fire. We were free and together again. How it went us from there, what battles we fought for our freedom, you must hear about some other time.